Meteorologist Morgan Kolkmeyer. Good morning, Morgan.
Hey, everybody's talking about the ice coming tonight, right? We do have a freezing rain chance. There is no ice storm warning, to be very clear. I wouldn't call this an ice storm. And if that changes, I'll let you know. But right now we do have a winter weather advisory. There is a very high likelihood we get into some freezing rain. I think there's a good chance we see a decent amount of liquid rain that doesn't freeze, at least at the start of all of this. But yes, an ice glaze on the roads. It will be slick this evening and overnight tonight, and we'll get into the details of it coming up. The great majority of your day is really quiet. It's cloudy this morning. You may see a thin band of snow set up here later this morning. We'll get into the details of that, but great majority of from now until 4 to 6 p.m. Is looking pretty quiet. Temperature-wise, we're starting in the 20s. It's 25 degrees at the lakefront and 27 at the airports. We range anywhere from about 20 to 28 under a mainly cloudy sky here today. Low 30s expected. You can see that ice chance around 30% by 5 o'clock. Detailed forecast, some timing and totals here in just a couple of minutes. First to check a few roads. Hey, Brett. Headed our way here this evening. You may see a little snow this morning. This kind of slight early chance by your later morning hours to see a band of snow set up. Winter weather advisory starts between 4 and 6 p.m. lasts till 6 o'clock in the morning tomorrow. Likely going to see an onset of rain for many locations, not just freezing rain. So kind of warm enough to let this fall as rain, and then some of it should freeze over. An ice glaze and up to about 1/10 of an inch of ice, and a chance for a little snow, sleet, maybe even a little thunder to mix in as well. All of this is for the late day and evening commute. This morning is pretty quiet. Again, we have that slight chance for a little snow, and I want to show you that low chance. I've got about a 20% chance there, 10 a.m. and then into about noon in our northern sections for this to set up. We'll fast forward into between about 4 and 6 p.m. We'll start to see that first rain and then a little freezing rain work its way in. Carries into the overnight hours. Here's 9 p.m. Again, that pink color is the freezing rain. You may see a little sleet. You may see a little snow mix in there as well, but great majority of this looks to be both freezing rain and rain showers. Here's 3 a.m. Things are fairly quiet outside of a little drizzle maybe lingering. So the morning commute tomorrow, other than leftover slick roads, looks okay. As far as ice totals, most of these are coming out in the hundredths of an inch category, which is slick, right? That's a glaze of ice. It's not ice storm criteria. That's a 1/4 of an inch, and that's not looking very likely here. We may get up to 1/10 of an inch in some locations, especially as you look in our southern half, and that will create slick roads. But I just kind of wanted to clarify a winter weather advisory versus an ice storm warning. Big difference there in terms of how much ice would be expected. Temps are in the 20s and anywhere from about 20 to 28 degrees with winds off the lake here up to 15 miles per hour. 32, of course, hovering freezing, which is why we've got kind of a mixed bag of precip expected later today. And again, still can't rule out that late morning snow chance. 30 tonight, ice glaze up to 1/10 of an inch will create slick roads overnight tonight, but remember, we'll see some rain mixed in there as well. 41 tomorrow, a decrease in clouds, gusty winds tomorrow, and again on your Friday night especially. 31 Friday. Back to you. We do have this slight chance for a little snow later this morning. A band of snow in our southern sections may set up closer to 9 or 10 a.m. and then lift northward into your lunch hour. About a 30% chance for that. Otherwise, winter weather advisory is for the stuff that comes later today. Starts between 4 and 6 p.m. Southern sections first, northern sections last, and it carries into 6 o'clock in the morning tomorrow. Likely the start of this is rain or mostly rain before we start to work more of that kind of glazing happening with the colder air in place. Evening, ice glaze on the roads up to about 1/10 of an inch, and the slightest chance to hear maybe a rumble of thunder, maybe a little sleet mixing in, but certainly looks mostly like a rain and freezing rain event here this evening. Quiet this morning. This is your current satellite and radar. It's cloudy, and that's about it. You'll see as we get into about 9 or 10 a.m. this band of snow starts to develop. So again, that's that 30% snow chance lifts north into the early afternoon. Here's kind of what everybody's talking about. Between 4 and 6 o'clock, most of this falls as rain to start and then transitions in the pink. There is your freezing rain. This is 9 p.m. and we keep it even this is midnight still freezing rain concerns, and likely even a little freezing drizzle 3, 4, 5 o'clock in the morning tomorrow. It's winding down, but you may still have drizzly conditions plus leftover ice obviously on the roads. We'll decrease clouds otherwise tomorrow. We have a winter weather advisory. That means a glaze on the road up to about 1/10 of an inch of ice. For this to prompt an ice storm warning, you need to be forecasting a 1/4 of an inch of ice or more, which is quite a bit more than what our forecast forecast is allotting. So we'll let you know if that changes, if it looks to increase throughout the day today. But right now it looks like a 1/10 of an inch or less, which is enough to obviously create icy roads. Anywhere from 20 to 28 right now. It's 25 at the lakefront, 27 at O'Hare and Midway. Northeast winds are up to 16 miles per hour. They'll gust to 20 today. Low 30s, obviously around freezing. 41 tomorrow with decreasing clouds, 31.